How do you feel? How do you feel?
It's hard to explain.
Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love History 3 Trapped, the only show where we talk about the most show to have ever showed.
Yeah.
History 3 Trapped.
This is television, bitch.
This week we watched episode 6. And
episode 6.
It's episode 6. And I want this show pumped into my bloodstream. I want it to fuse with my DNA like when Peter Parker got bit by the spider.
Yeah.
Like I want to become half History 3 Trapped. History 3 Trappedman.
Yeah.
That's what I want to become.
Yeah. That's your
and
Marvel.
my
That's your
superpower
Avenger.
is being
the
horny,
show.
I guess. I don't know.
It's like Sense8, where you like use everyone's skills from the show. So you get to do like acrobat.
Oh,
you
yes,
get to do
Yeah. You get to be a crazy assassin.
You get to wear a suit jacket.
Yeah. We left the last episode.
We gotta get to the end of the episode, so we're
going
basically
to no jokes till the end.
No jokes. We're saving all the jokes until the
Not
smut.
a single joke.
Yeah.
Till the smut. Xiao Fei in the last episode had been shot, if you remember. And when
there was a brief moment we forgot that we had to be like, what happened?
Right. Well, because spoiler, peek behind the curtain, we're recording this the day that our reaction to episode 4 dropped. So the whole day I kept seeing people talk about that. So then when we were like, what happened in 5? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's boring. He had been shot. He's in the hospital, and the makeup department had gone town.
Off.
They made him look like a corpse.
Yeah.
That is where we pick up the
Tang-yi's
next episode.
like doing a little finger wave.
Tracing his face.
And he wakes up.
And he
the
wakes
first
up.
thing he sees is Tang-yi.
And he sees Tang-yi. He smiles.
They smile.
And then he falls back asleep. And Tang-yi's eyes are brimming with tears.
Yes.
Melodrama.
Yeah.
In the best way.
I mean, I guess, yeah, like he is the reason why he's been shot, right?
Yeah.
But it was we were like, oh, he is overcome with emotion.
Yeah. Hot. Leon is waiting outside because he had seen, at the end of the last episode, he had seen the Tang-yi was in the room. So he's waiting until he's finished.
Miss Girl.
Yuchi, who's the girl on the investigative squad, shows up. And she's like gonna go in, and
he's like, I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
Leon's like, they're busy. And she's like, who? Why? What? And tries to go in. That's when Tang-yi comes out, and she and Leon hustle in the room, and he overhears her saying like,
they shouldn't be together.
They shouldn't.
He's the reason.
They shouldn't hang out. They shouldn't like.
Yes, he's
they
the
should
reason
not be
why.
fraternizing together because.
He's a gangster.
This is now his second time in the hospital since he's like started to like follow Tang-yi around, basically. Tang-yi may feel guilty. And then Chen Wenhao,
remember her?
He walks out of the hospital with Jack. Chen Wenhao's lackey is like, you girl, Miss Girl, come with me. Just Tang-yi.
And they have tea.
They have tea together. They have high tea.
Yes.
There's some gorgeous
oh my God, I love the cucumber creams.
sandwiches.
We gotta try high tea.
We gotta do a high tea. I'm not a tea,
but I love those little sandwiches.
But I love the sandwiches. And I love the
just the camp of it all.
The camp of it all. Yeah. Getting like having a midday meal.
Yeah.
That's not lunch, to be clear.
If we ever did Boys Love High Tea, oh my God, that would be our, instead of doing live shows, we would host high tea.
Sure. I don't drink tea.
Cool.
This was a really fun conversation.
We told you no jokes till the end.
Told you no jokes. I'm sorry.
Okay, explain to Adam. Explain to me the conversation. The conversation. The plot. Because it's...
At the tea.
She lays it all out on the table.
So Chen Wenhao, who's got a big scar on his face. That's how you know he's evil. He has this meeting with Tang-yi where he explains that we learn that he used to be part of Shintian group, but he left because he got arrested.
He got caught.
And so then he had to forge his own path since getting out of jail. As we know from watching 5 episodes of the show, which have been very clear.
Yes.
Tang-yi is trying to rehabilitate the Shintian group. Legitimize. And so he is kind of entered into the territory in some aspects.
But he doesn't know the territories.
What do you talk? He has entered into the territory of Chen Wenhao's group. I don't know what the group name is, but his group. And so Chen Wenhao has gotten a bit miffed and he said, hey, look. He's the one who put out the hit for Hongye.
For Hongye, yes.
And it was apparently specifically supposed to be for Hongye.
Yes, because he was like, I hope she's okay.
I heard she's fine. That's the tea. And in the end of the conversation, he's like, now, let's make bygones be bygones.
I'll stay out of your way if you stay out of mine.
Right. Let's drink, pour the tea.
Yeah, it's basically like once this cup is dry, all bygones are bygoned.
Begone the begone.
So
did you see me struggle to get that out?
Begin to begin, but with bygone.
Yeah.
Tang-yi goes, empty cup.
He does the Dairy Queen.
Oh yes.
Nothing's coming out.
I have a blizzard for Adam.
I have a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard for Adam.
I love an Oreo Blizzard, but I love an Andes Mint as well. No jokes.
I thought the Blizzard joke was pretty good.
But on the way out, Jack was like, in the car, well, after you killed...
I can't believe you agreed to this since you're the one you have been in their area and you did kill
Wang
Kunshin.
Wang Kunshin. Yeah. So
I guess he did.
Yeah, so I guess he did do that. Or he hired the hit. So that means Jack did it, right? That's the only explanation.
Okay.
Who cares? I really don't care about the mob thing. I'm just trying to get to the...
I just want to see them have sex. That's it. That's all I'm watching the show for. And we're so close. We're so close.
Oh, they are edging us.
We end this episode with one of the men on his knees. So you know what? Thank God. Yep. Xiaofei's in the hospital. Leon is there, but he's like sleeping on the sofa next to him. It's actually very sweet that he's been there the whole time. Xiaofei wakes up because Leon is snoring. And then he looks over to his right. He sees like the water pitcher. So he's like, oh, I'm going to pour myself a cup of water. And then out of nowhere, a hand emerges and takes the pitcher. And it's very hot. Something about a man taking care of me is hot. You know what I mean? Do you see yourself when you watch the show? I feel like I see myself as Xiaofei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. The fantasy.
Yeah. You want tall, dark, and handsome.
Yes.
Yeah.
He dips a cotton bud seductively into
so is this just to like wet his lip? I feel like he actually just wanted to drink water. I feel like it was a little like Dom sub play where he was like, you're only going to get a little bit of the water. I don't think that's it. I think it's actually just like moisten his lips. But I thought it was funny because...
I wish he licked his lips. If he licked his lips
I thought they were going to kiss then.
I know, me too.
That's he was like,
he grabbed his hand. He grabbed his hand after Tang-yi was like moistening his lips, preparing for the kiss.
Right, of course.
He pulls him in. But then Tang-yi, maybe it's a little too wet. So he wipes.
Oh, it dribbled down his face.
Dribbles down his face. So he... The wiping of the mouth.
Amazing. They get really close together.
And then
Xiao
Fei delivers a proverb. Well, not really. He's like an anecdote.
Yes, but the anecdote was a proverb.
Yes.
The anecdote was that he had his fortune told once, and that
by someone
we don't know who. Don't worry, we'll find out in a minute and 40 seconds. That someone told him that in his fortune, she saw like he
will live like a long life.
He would live a long life, and the only thing that's going to take him out is like a cannon. This is when I get nervous. Actually, this isn't when I got nervous. I get nervous later on the rooftop, but it is sowing the seeds of we're talking about a character dying, even in like fortune telling terms. I start getting nervous when we talk about a main character and being like, I understand the point is to be like,
it's gonna take more than that. Take more than that
just to take me out, but like,
and then
the show's not over.
But then the added thing of like, I'm known for being indestructible.
Yeah. I've seen this Greek tragedy before.
Girl.
So it's a very sweet scene. I actually got very emotional.
Yeah.
It was very sweet. And then the next morning, Leon is awoken by
the
snores
heavy snoring on
coming
the bed.
Under the sheets.
So we were like, oh, are they both under the sheets?
We thought he was going to pull down the covers and that they were both going to be sleeping on the bed.
It's better.
It's Jack. Who's like, good morning.
Good morning, sleepyhead. He's like, where the hell is Afe? Jack's like, oh, he's upstairs with my boss.
And then out of nowhere, Leon shares that his grandmother told Xiao Fei's fortune once. So we immediately get the answer to that question of who that was. And then Jack is like, did she ever tell your fortune? And he says, yes. I was told that I was going to be taken care of by someone who gave me food and clothes. And Jack's like, I've got breakfast. Upstairs on the roof.
I was saying this was the most that I heard Tang-yi speak.
Yes.
He like basically has a monologue.
Mm-hmm. It's true. So weirdly, not weirdly, the show is like about grief. So it really becomes them kind of talking about the scariest part of death is not necessarily yourself dying, but it's watching the people you love die. Mm-hmm. And for yourself, knowing that if you die, you'll leave behind people who will be sad.
Pain, yeah.
Because since they two have been through 4 years ago, their loved ones, the senior at the police academy, the head of the Tang family, both of them passed away. So they've both been affected by grief that happened on the same day, basically. Mm-hmm. So really, they're probably at the same trajectory on their grief stages. Mm-hmm. So they could commiserate on that, which is lovely. But it has made the possibility of death more real for them.
Yes.
In a way.
It's interesting because usually I feel like one would do it. Like you would think if they saved the like kidnapping for now, then that would be like the big thing. Mm-hmm. They're like, wow, we almost got. But because they did that as the goofy like first attempt, and then and then this was like the scarier version because it was just like a hit basically.
Right.
It's interesting that
the kidnapping was used as the like, oh, we booked a hotel room and there's only one bed. Like that's their
meet
to get
cute.
them to enemies to lovers.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Tang-yi is talking and he's sharing. And Xiao Fei goes
in for the kiss.
Just
we were gooped. We were surprised because it really felt like out of
nowhere. I was not prepared. And he still kind of looks bad.
Yeah.
Because he's still sick.
I mean, you could say like he's almost died twice now, but he's still alive. So now he's like, I'm gonna live for the day. Seize the day. Do you know what I mean?
Open the gates. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't delay.
Strike. What
are we, French?
Bonjour.
Bonsoir.
He goes in for this kiss.
What did you think about this kiss?
I mean,
we have to have the conversation about the kiss where one person is taken off guard and they do not close their eyes.
So that's what happens here. Tang-yi is like,
it is not a reciprocated kiss. It is a kiss that happens to Tang-yi
Yes.
It's in slow motion.
But Xiao Fei
obviously.
was not looking for reciprocation.
No.
It was an act of like, mwah.
It was a profession of love.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so funny. I when it happened, I was like, we hadn't even heard from Xiao Fei that he's like, I like you. And then immediately after the kiss, it's like, I'm living for the day. I'm seizing the day. I am determined to pursue you.
Yes.
I'm definitely pursuing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm for sure pursuing you, Tang-yi.
I'm so into pursuing you right now.
When you hit that kiss, I was like, ooh.
Kind of amp it up a little bit. Vanessa, please come on the show.
Vanessa, we'd love to talk to you about BL. I bet we could get Vanessa Hudgens to watch BL. Well, let's talk about these kisses, though, as a concept, because these happen a lot.
In BL, yeah.
In BL, and I think even kind of in Asian dramas in general.
Oh, yeah.
Like the person taken aback by a kiss. I never see this in Western shows or movies ever.
Because kissing is not...
Did you see here how I said movies?
Because kissing is not precious. Do you know what I mean? Like...
Oh, okay. Something about these types of kisses make me think of like... kind of like the Jane Austen energy of like polite society. Like there's rules and strictures that you have to abide by, because obviously like Japan, Korea, Thailand, Taiwan, like all these countries
there's more emphasis on like social
responsibility.
Yes.
As opposed to over here where it's just
do whatever you want, girl.
The fabric of society is falling apart as we know it. So I always think that it's more about, it's the shock of you're out of line, you're out of bounds. But that's what's like makes it exciting.
Yes.
So for us, like, because it's not out of bounds, it's a little like, but I get why they do it.
Yeah. It's a romance. I mean, like,
it's a romance.
Yeah.
Would you consider this a dead fish-eyed kiss in the classic Korean BL tradition?
No, because I think that is more of like, the intent is that you're both, it's meant to be like you're both kissing each other, but it doesn't look like there's any no passion, no energy. Like if the kiss that they do later in the episode was dead, then I'd be like, girl.
Right. That does not happen.
No.
There's passion.
There's passion.
There's energy. So it's very sweet. They go back downstairs. Xiao Fei interrupts Jack and Leon. And Jack leaves with Tang-yi. Or he tells him Tang-yi is left, so Jack leaves. And then Xiao Fei is like, okay, well, I'm also leaving. I'm gonna get out of this fucking hospital.
And Xiao Fei's, Leon's like, girl, no, you're resting.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah, and he like
just got
threatens
stitches.
He like threatens to like call Chief.
You got stitches.
Yes.
As a youth. Mm-hmm. What does it feel like? Or they like locally anesthetic?
It is local anesthetic, but like you feel like the skin like tugging, that it's like I've gotten multiple stitches. 2 different injuries.
From the same thing.
So that one, the well-known one, in lore, not for these people, but like our lore.
Yeah.
And then when in the face.
Oh, your staph infection had stitches?
In high school.
Wow. Yeah. Where?
No, it wasn't stitches.
No, it couldn't have been. You have no scarring.
No, it wasn't. No, I did have a scar, and then it just like, it just like disappeared.
That's that American Doctor. Because I'll tell you what.
Oh my God. And you know what?
The other ones did not. They scarred.
Oh, yeah. That one's,
Was that here or was that in...
That's in the Philippines.
That was in the Philippines.
But this one... Yeah, no, I didn't do stitches, but there was a... Wait. No, I didn't do stitches. Wait. Did I? Oh my God, I'm forgetting the Italian for window.
How long were you in the hospital?
Maybe
your senior year of high school.
2 weeks.
Oh my God. There is a flashback to a scene because
he's thinking about like, what do I feel about this? You know?
Tang-yi is sitting at his desk. He flashes back to a scene of him and Old Tang. And it's the continuation of the scene that we had seen earlier in the series, and it is about telling Tang-yi,
live for yourself, bitch.
Live for yourself. If there's ever a day where you are forced to choose between the Shinten group
and yourself,
you have to choose yourself. And he's like, but I vowed, I'm giving my life for this group. And he's like,
no, baby.
No, girl, I created the group. I have to do that. You don't have to do that. You just showed up one day.
Yeah.
You were dropped in a little wicker basket on our porch.
Yes.
And we took you in. You do
down the Nile.
Down the Nile, right.
There can be miracles when you believe. Philippines. Not Filipino at all, but it's just like culturally ours. That movie, Prince of Egypt.
Sure. The movie Prince of Egypt and the soundtrack with Whitney and Mariah is culturally Filipino.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes, that makes sense.
And he then is like, if you haven't even lived a life, and you can't even say you've lived a life until you fall in love with someone. So until that happens,
live.
Choose yourself.
Yes.
And then that's when he realizes he's falling for Xiaofei. Because he has the little skeleton thing that he gave him. We get a flashback of the montage of all of the moments. All of their growth they've done as a couple.
This is a Station of the Cross. Remember the montage?
That was a Station of the Cross?
We said it in Eighth Sense.
Did
Whenever they montage their like moments that they've been together to prove that that it is love.
Mm-hmm.
The montage.
The orphanage.
Yes, the montage.
At the police station marketing agency, the captain.
Everyone's like, you miss him. You wish he was here.
Because I do like that they have this scene following the scene Tang-yi and Old Tang.
Yes.
Because it does show that they have like paternalistic relationships with these two guys. They're different, obviously, but I did like that little added thing. That's really sweet. And then
they show a weird one of the guys.
They show a really weird clip.
One of the guys was like, I'm gonna head out early, you guys.
He like it. First of all, how you know it's weird is he interrupts the like, ha ha ha, the jovial nature of the conversation. Like, everyone is here. And he is off to the side. And then everyone's like, key. And he interrupts to be like, hey, I'm going to go. And everyone's like, okay, bye. And you know it's weird.
And then you see him get on his motorcycle.
They show a clip of him on his motorcycle. And he's wearing all black.
Yeah.
And I was like, for a less educated viewer, okay, they might be confused as to what's going on here. But for those of us in academia, we understand that it is to imply that he is the mole.
To the sovereign. If he turns
out to not be the mole, you have to cut that.
No. It's going to go on the Adam Bad Take Hall of Fame.
It's going to be...
With Park Han-bin is straight, and this policeman is the mole.
Something's going on. Maybe he's not a mole, but something's going on.
I thought that he was going to
film this specific thing.
I thought it was like he was going to get kidnapped. Like as soon as he drove,
something was going to happen.
Or like they took him out, meaning like they're taking out the police.
No, I think he's a double agent.
He's a double agent.
Double agent. And unfortunately, we don't even know this man's name.
No.
So it's not that interesting.
I'm sure they've said it.
But like he's had 3 lines in this whole show, and 2 of them were in this episode.
Yeah.
I think he probably had another line when they were doling out parts for the sting operation, and he was like, "Oh, goody, I get to be random nightclub patron number 7." There's no small parts. Xiaofei's ready to leave. Leon and Yuchi are there to help him pack his belongings that he had brought to the hospital. And he has
been left on red. He says.
He's been left on red, yes. And Tang-yi and Jack come in, and they're like, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" And Tang-yi's like, "I'm here to give my response." And he strides across the room, takes with his big fucking hands.
Big yaoi hands.
It's not yaoi.
Yaoi.
Yaoi. And he takes in his hands Xiaofei's little face and kisses him. And
Xiaofei closes his eyes.
Xiaofei closes his eyes. And I saw stars. I saw butterflies. I saw cupids. I was on cloud nine.
Fainted.
I passed out. And then immediately we get to the reckoning with Yuchi.
Because Yuchi's like, but it can't be true.
He just can't.
He just can't. He's a gangster. You're a police officer.
No, Cleo.
It's not true.
She's not taking it well. No. Listen, how many people have had crushes on gay men before? I'm sure plenty. And it's hard, you know?
That's why we're watching BL, girl.
Why the hell else are we here?
Yeah.
But I think it's very nice. I think it's a sweet little scene.
He lets her down easy. He says like, because she says like, I've liked you too. And he's like, I know, Diva.
But I like Tang-yi.
We both like men.
And her refrain in this episode is, you're a cop, he's a gangster, which I do like that she's really bringing this point home because I don't think either of them have really thought about it.
Yeah. But his response is like, what? Are you afraid that we'll be discriminated against?
This is what I thought was crazy.
Was crazy, right?
Because so many of these shows, we've talked about it 100 times, so many of these shows pretend that it is not, we are outside of the bubble of, we are in a different bubble.
Yes.
We are in a bubble where
I love this person.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with being
or
gay.
just like society, there's no like difference. Like it's never treated as anything. It's just like, here's a micro story. The rest of the world and its perception does not exist here. This acknowledges, at least, while they may not say I'm gay, right?
But he's like, I love a man.
Yes.
You know, so people will see me as a man lover.
Yes. I just thought that was really cool.
And I also thought it was very cool that he was like, it's me. It's me, Xiaofei. I don't get bothered by what people think of me. That I was like, yeah, you're right.
You don't. We can tell.
We can tell.
From your haircut. But I did like the scene, and I did like that his major point was like, we've both seen death at this point, and I just want to spend time with someone that I like, which I thought was very sweet. I don't know if it'll work out, but I'm nervous. Jack then escorts Leon home, and Leon's like, you didn't have to escort me home.
Yeah.
And he's like, but how else would I get in your house? And he's like, you could have just asked to come over. Haha. And they end up in his bedroom. And
because Jack is like, well, what do you think about
your colleague and my boss getting together? And
Adam cried at this little outburst.
Leon thinks that Jack is like going.
Isn't that gross?
That is Jack's point. Is like, it's homophobic.
Yes, and Leon is like, hey, look,
hey, fucking asshole. Their banter this whole show, we've talked about it already. Their banter on this show has been very juvenile and very like playful.
Making my first friend,
right?
Yeah.
There's like a real innocent sweetness to their friendship that has been very charming.
Yes.
And they have continued that energy with that conversation earlier over the breakfast when he was like, because he has a bit when they're eating breakfast where he's like, my captain told me that gangsters are bad guys who don't have
but you
hearts.
Don't do anything bad to me. You treat me nice. Yeah.
So they've continued this, and then it's still here. He's like defending Xiaofei's honor, but in a way that still is true to like the character that they've created for him.
If you think that's wrong for my friend, then I don't like you anymore. Right. Basically. And Adam started crying because what I gathered is like, you know, you were a lonely child. You didn't have many friends. Mm-hmm. You didn't have a lot of friends that were boys. Mm-hmm, and true. So there was a feeling of like, Jesus, I wish, or even like a brother. Like I wish you didn't grow up with brothers. So it's like, it's that feeling of like a little brother. I didn't grow up
with close male cousins.
Yeah.
My closest cousin is female.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was one of Adam's first closest male friends.
I had a couple like I had one really great guy friendship in like the beginning of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to college because he was like a few years older than me. And it was like the most I've ever felt like I had a brother.
You had a brother, yeah.
But it was only for like a summer, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way he talks about like Xiaofei feels like a little brother defending his brother to a friend of like, if you don't like my older brother, fuck off.
Yeah.
We don't have to play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Adam started bawling. So telehealth is a viable option if it's hard to get out of.
Great. It's very sweet, but Jack's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
What I'm talking about.
And then pins him to the wall and kisses him.
Yes.
Again, not a lick of sexual tension between the two of them. And Leon kind of freaks out.
Yeah. He's like,
but Jack insists that he knows he likes, because he's like, you defended Xiaofei, why don't you defend yourself?
Yes.
Because he's like insinuating, I know you like me.
Yeah.
Do you think Leon likes him? I don't even know if Leon is like intelligent enough to like
I don't think he's smart enough to realize like, oh, I like him.
I don't even know if it's, I think it's like that, but I also think it's like, I don't even know if he does. I don't even know if he's at a point.
Yeah.
I don't think puberty's happened yet.
That's what I'm trying to say.
He's like so simple.
I know.
It's very sweet.
Yes.
And I like the juxtaposition, right? Because the Tang-yi and Xiaofei are so adult.
Right.
Like their problems are so real.
Yes.
They're like the stakes are high with
Yes.
them, and they're so like horny in a real way.
And Jack and Leon are.
And Jack, even though Jack is also still very
Yes.
adult, there's something like
their conflict is like, it's truly like childlike.
yeah, they're like a good foil as a
Yes.
B couple to
They're the
A
comedy
couple.
version of the
Right.
main couple.
It's very cute.
Leon is like,
Leon runs away.
Tang-yi takes Xiaofei home.
Yes.
Tang-yi outside says like, well, just because I responded to you doesn't mean that I like you all the way yet.
I'm
want
not
to try.
totally sure
I'm
of
not
my
totally sure
feelings.
about my feelings yet. Xiaofei's like, what? So he takes him up, blah, blah, blah. He sees his drawing.
Right. He sees the cork board of all the like the 4 years of material that he
Yes.
amassed onto a not even 5x7. How big is this cork board? Like 2 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah.
Like it's not
2
big
by
enough
4
for
feet.
4 years of research, to be honest. But
But he basically like doubles down. He's like, yeah, I feel like I'm not sure about my feelings yet because I want to experience like getting to like you even more.
mm-hmm. And Xiaofei's like, well, I have no doubt with my incredibly good looks that I'll be able to
work.
secure the bag.
Yeah.
And
he's like, well, let's put your money where your mouth is.
And I'd like to put my mouth wherever the money has been.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Let's say that. He plops down on his chair, and on our reaction to
Episode 4.
to episode 4, people were like,
If you couldn't handle the bed scene, just wait for the chair scene.
yes, if you couldn't handle the back rub, divas,
Just wait for the chair.
And
And
as soon as Tang-yi sat down, Adam
was like, oh no, this is the chair.
this is the chair.
This is the
This
chair.
is the infamous chair. Tang-yi's basically like, well, then go ahead, seduce me.
I want to...
Because this is they're playing, it's a mobster and a cop too, so it's still playing with
we're doing
tension.
film noir, right? We're doing like
Yes.
vamp vixen.
Yeah, he's like, okay, then go
Energy.
ahead. Basically, like, interrogate me or whatever.
I did like the double meaning when he said he would pursue him. That I was
Yes.
like, it's funny because
'Cause you're
he's
a
been
cop,
pursuing him for 4 years.
So Xiaofei gets on top of him on this chair and starts unbuttoning him.
Oh,
And the soft core music in the back.
the music is horrendous, guys. It's so bad. It's the only reason I couldn't fully like get into it, and
Yes.
that's probably for the best,
Yeah.
to be honest. I needed a bit of a remove.
Yes.
Because otherwise I was going to be drooling on camera.
But Xiaofei was real, like, they were getting so close.
They were getting so close. It's the...
Like,
there's something so hot about almost
but it's
kissing.
slow. It's so slow. And basically edging him. Let's say it.
Let's not.
And then as soon as like he's about to kiss him, he's like, let's shower together.
He says, okay, let's shower together. And then Tang-yi's like, now?
Like,
what do you mean?
Now?
He's like, yeah, let's go. And then he's like, no, let's go. And then pins...
Basically like, but if we're gonna do something later, let's just do it now. And then pins him against the wall. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, well, you took my shirt off. I'm going to take your shirt off.
I wish I had been on set when this happened. I wish I was a fly on the wall. I wish I was
that boom. Just being like...
I wish I was the boom operator being like...
heavy breathing on the boom. Like, can we get the sound guy not to breathe on the microphone?
Can you stop?
That's all we're picking up.
Heavy breathing, please.
Because I had to cover myself from the camera because I was getting so red watching it.
It's so sexy.
It's so hot.
They take their shirts off. He's like kissing his neck. He's working his hands down his body. I swear to God, they're both so smooth and their skin is so...
And then when the shirt's
finally
off, he
realizes
he's hurt.
The injury.
The
Band-aid. The bandage.
And Xiaofei was like, no, I'll be okay. And Tang-yi,
just another hole for you.
He peels off the gauze, and we see the stitches behind the like clear bandage.
And I said he's gonna kiss it,
and he kisses it.
And that's the end of the episode.
The end of the episode. It's literally
end.
Oof, they said, okay, now you've gotten through the first 5 episodes, we're cranking it
Here's
up.
the thing. This is episode 6 of 10. I understand that there's a lot of plot that we have to finish.
Yeah.
Because they're basically together at this point.
Yes.
And
so now it's like...
how are they going to get out of the Chen Wen Hao of it all? Fine. Do you think that there's going to be... is there going to be more than this? Or do you think this is like the pinnacle?
I think they're gonna have a sex scene. Oh no.
I hope not. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. It's shot so differently from
like
OnlyFriends.
Yeah.
Because OnlyFriends was so like animalistic and it's like
here is like
appetite for sex.
Yeah, and here it's like, oh, you've wanted to do this for a while.
This is so like passionate.
I know.
Oh my God.
What was okay? Because the Thai BLs are, they go crazy for the sex scenes.
Yeah.
But there are some that were like, oh, I did not like when Cooking Crush had like a love scene.
Yeah.
And we're like,
oh,
my wedding plan.
No. My wedding plan, but also the real crazy one was what was the one with the bobbleheads?
Oh, Middleman's Love.
Middleman's Love. That sex scene was out for a show that was
goofy,
bonkers. That was horny.
Yeah. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
We gotta watch that one, Battle of the Writers. Because Min and Winnie are in it. It's them. It's It's Tudor Yim.
Oh, it's Tudor Yim. Oh, God, Tudor's so hot. He's so fine. Whew, Jesus. MVP for the episode?
It's Xiaofei for me.
It's 100% Xiaofei. And I'll be honest, it's Xiaofei for the turn. When he whispers and he's like on his like he's sick and he pulls him in and he tells him about how he was like
this fortune.
Nothing's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
And then
the roof.
The exclamation of love on
totally.
The roof. Mm-hmm.
Because it's not explicit that he... Well, I guess he does say, like, I've been close to death multiple times. But it's believable that he's like, I've almost died.
Yeah.
And I've turned a new leaf. Even though he's still himself.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm going to be active now about this thing. I've been active about everything else. I keep pursuing him. It's not even that he's like connecting like, oh, the reason why I've been chasing after him is blah, 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 blah. No, it's just like purely acting out on, I've liked him.
Right.
This entire time.
Yeah. It's really good. He's really good on the show.
Yeah. Which is funny because when the start of the show, I was just focused on Tang-yi.
Right.
Because he was just so enigmatic that I was like, oh. And mysterious, obviously.
It's so mysterious. Yeah.
But now you know a little bit more about him. It's like Xiao Fei, like, you're learning a new version of Xiao Fei. Please have sex. Please make love.